Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Aussie Starcraft, where we've been casting some games from Dreamhack Winter that took place very recently. Today we have a TvT matchup on our hands. In the bottom left hand corner is our blue Terran player. It is LiquidTaeja. In the top right hand corner is our red Terran. It says barcode, but it's none other than Innovation. So it will be a TvT here on Frost between these two Korean nemesis. These guys have met each other time and again during the year and provided some of the best TvT action we have seen. So always able to rely on them for a great game. Looks like this one will be no exception. Now, for those of you that have missed it, Dreamhack Winter did take place about a week ago now. Lots of players participating in a round robin tournament. Very interesting style Dreamhack versus traditional tournaments such as the WCS. For example, in Dreamhack, the winner of the winners bracket and the winner of the losers bracket actually play off in the grand final. So that's going to be pretty exciting to watch. Players that get defeated don't necessarily fall out of the comp, they just fall down to the next bracket. So I think it's a very interesting sort of matchup. But Taeja and Innovation meeting here in the group stages, and we'll see what the pair of them elect to go with. Obviously, Terran in a post-patch environment is very mech heavy. Obviously, the upgrades made to for the mech units, both ground and air armor and weapons being combined, is certainly a substantial increase. And we have seen quite a lot of mech in the TvT matchup recently. So excited to see what these two get up to. But we have Taeja going for his gas a little bit after Innovation. Looks like Innovation will be able to drop a Reaper fairly quickly, but Taeja's orbital command is on the way first. So a little bit of changes in the two openings, but we'll see how that goes. Taeja just going for a straight marine opening at the moment. We have Innovation actually grabbing his factory straight off the bat rather than any Reapers. So I was expecting a Reaper scout, but it looks like Innovation deciding to pull that gas and throw down a factory fairly quickly, which I gotta say I agree with the choice, given that this matchup has a very mech centric focus, and we'll see what these two players elect to go with. We do have Innovation almost another 100 gas, so interested to see how he spends this gas. He is actually grabbing his second geyser, and when Terran grab a second geyser this early, it's a fairly clear indicator that you either have some sort of Banshee play or you are likely to be seeing mech come shortly thereafter. And as we can see, starport is going down now, so it looks like Innovation will be opening with a Banshee play. Taeja actually going for his command center now and throwing down his factory as well. Just a little background on this series. This is the deciding game in a best of 3 series to see which of these two players will take the series. In the group stages, players play a number of round robin games, and whichever players earn the most series in wins will progress to the next stage of the tournament. The others will fall down into the losers bracket. Looks like Innovation swapping out the starport onto the tech lab, and we will see a Banshee here in not a Banshee at all, a Raven. So interesting choice there from Innovation. I would have thought we'd be seeing a Banshee with the quantity of gas being mined, but obviously Innovation knows something we do not, and actually going for the Raven instead. So definitely an interesting choice there. We have Taeja grabbing a few Hellions now. Innovation securing the top of his ramp with a few Marines, and grabbing a reactor of his own on his factory. So definitely interesting and certainly a different start in this TvT matchup. 2 Hellions on the field now and 2 more to come from Taeja. It looks like he is going with the fairly mech heavy opening. We have him moving the barracks again, and we'll see if he throws down a second factory in this space. I would think that he would. Either that or we'll see the starport move there momentarily. Just looks like Taeja's going to get out his Viking first, just to keep him safe against any potential Banshee harass. A lot of players see the potential for a Banshee and go crazy and throw down a lot of missile turrets. You'll notice that these players tend to try and defend with the minimal wastage on units. And for Taeja, that's popping out a single Viking. He now knows that he's fairly safe against any Banshee play, and he can quite confidently carry on in his build. Of course, we have a Raven of his own coming out now, and it looks like actually going to grab Cloak as well, so likely some Banshee follow-up to this. We have a second Viking coming out now for Innovation, and a first Siege Tank, so it does indeed look like both our players are going to be posturing towards a sort of, well, it's definitely mech out of Innovation. We've got the Siege Tank coming, though quite a few Marines backing up, so not necessarily a pure mech build out of either of our players, but the old school Marine tank sort of composition. And it's interesting, Taeja does have his Raven out, but it looks like these Hellions getting a nice run by into the main base. One worker going down so far, second worker going down there, so unfortunately, the third worker going down the Hellion, but unfortunately caught in the corner for a total of 4 workers, so a little bit of harass, but perhaps not as much as Taeja would have liked there. We have 2 tanks moving down here. It does actually look like Innovation has both a tank advantage and an air advantage, with 2 Vikings in the air already. This could prove quite perilous for Taeja. Looks like Innovation has the lead in almost every respect that matters. Quantity of tanks, things like air superiority. These tanks on the low ground are going to get very annoying very quickly. Banshee unfortunately unable to do a whole lot as it's pinned back by the Vikings. Oh, nice lift with these Marines here is going to allow them to get onto the high ground. The Marines trying not to stray into the Siege Tank shots, but the Siege Tank's doing so much damage from the low ground there. Looks like Taeja's going to be forced to lift up this starport. He's taking absolute beating from these tanks on the low ground. Looks like Innovation's going to reposition here at the front door. Taeja's going to get caught out of position with this Marine, so Innovation just doing a great job of pressing with these units here. A few not point defense drones, auto turrets going down from each side. Looks like it's going to be a very closely fought battle. Taeja winning the sky battle, but Innovation winning the ground battle, and unfortunately being forced to pull back. As soon as you run out of air units, it's generally a good idea to disengage in these Marine tank battles. The reason being your tanks can shoot further than they can see, so Taeja's Viking up here, crucial for the air superiority, means that his tanks will be able to fire long after Innovations have ceased because of sight issues. So bit of an intense start there. It does look like Innovation was able to do quite a lot of damage. The units lost very even actually. It's a shame for Innovation he didn't manage to pick off that starport. That would have put him at a significant advantage in future engagements, would have meant that Taeja would be unable to produce any Vikings for the short term. Looks like we have a very strong force moving out here from Innovation, 4 tanks and some more Marines, though there is no air to follow this up, so a bit of a dangerous play. Few Vikings over there. They need to really going to need to fall back to provide the line of sight for these tanks that are trying to put on the aggression here. Taeja's third command center already on the way. Looks like it is 3 tanks to 5 tanks, so Innovation with quite a unit advantage at this point. Taeja with an income advantage, but that income advantage won't do a whole lot if he manages to be contained and destroyed here. Looks like Taeja's actually going to get the opening volley here, which is very crucial. We have a lot of these units on either side going down. Looks like the Vikings are going to survive and allow these tanks to do substantial damage to Taeja's vehicles on the high ground. Almost able to take out that tank, but unfortunately 1 shot short of finishing that tank off. Taeja's left with 1 tank trying to defend his base against this constant pressure from Innovation. More Marines streaming across the field. It's been action-packed opening to this game. These Marines just keen to try and take out these Vikings, but this SCV is managing to keep these tanks alive. And, Innovation's showing us how it's done with the pressure here, putting a lot of pressure on Taeja. Taeja managing to take out the Viking, which is crucial, going to give him the high ground advantage. He can stick his tanks up here and cost Innovation a scan every time he wants to try and get a volley off on Taeja. Taeja desperately trying to save this bunker. Doesn't want it to go down. Innovation being forced to scan again. Another tank going down. Nice pickups here from Taeja, desperately trying to hold on to the base. Units lost is starting to favour Innovation. It's Taeja consistently losing units here, but arguably Taeja having a lot more to lose. He has had his second base up, mining quite substantially. His third command centre is actually already constructed, so in a very comfortable position economically, but just trying desperately to hold against Innovation's persistent attacks. Looks like Innovation is throwing down a significant number of barracks here to fat out the pressure, continuing to rely on just the one factory. It looks like these players almost mirror of each other, increasing their production substantially as they both try to move to their third base. So Innovation a little bit slow to take his third. Taeja's is already in place, and Innovation's is not yet even under construction. So looks like in a moment or two, when Taeja's production completes, he will be at a substantial income and production advantage. So he doesn't need to apply the pressure he is now, but Taeja always keen to go for the throat. If he can sneak this doom drop past Innovation, there is a Viking here ready to pick away at these medevacs. Will they spot them coming in, or has Taeja picked just the right angle for this doom drop? We have Innovation moving out as well, so this could in fact turn into a base race. Taeja going straight for the main here, dropping his units on top of Innovation, saying he's going to be able to siege up and hold this position. Innovation's just going to put the pedal to the floor and go straight for the base race. Taeja's going to stim into the mineral line and be able to kill a lot of these SCVs. A lot of damage being done. Innovation deciding to siege up at the main. Taeja pulling his workers back. He knows he's got the third base. He can continue to mine there. The SCVs rushing to try and take down the tanks. Here's a lot of damage being done by Taeja. Marines in the main base already wiping out the production of Innovation. And Innovation's finally broken through the front door of Taeja, but Taeja's got another tank on the high ground. His SCVs if they were pulled just a little bit before that, they might have been able to preserve that tank. Taeja pulling his Marines behind the SCVs. If he can hold with these Marines, he will win the game. Innovation's production being destroyed here. Big stim forward with those Marines. And with the SCVs to cover, it's just enough to topple Innovation here. So what an action-packed third game for this series. Innovation and Taeja always able to provide us with just such excellent action-packed TvT. So you can see the pendulum swung back in Taeja's favour. Innovation having lost 11,000 units to 9,000. So what a back and forth game between these two players, and you can just see how it turns literally on a coin. Taeja had the economic advantage, but instead decided to go for the throat instead of going for the slow macro game. Obviously it felt the pressure from Innovation's previous pushes and was able to buckle down and just carry the day. So great game from Taeja. He will pick up the win in this series and progress through into the next stage of the tournament. We've got a lot more games coming up right after these here on Aussie StarCraft, guys. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. And go ahead and share the videos with your friends on Facebook, Reddit, whatnot. Let them know that we're casting here at Aussie StarCraft. Thanks for taking the time. We hope you guys enjoyed the cast. Thanks, guys.